And just before we start the news, let's remind you that hard times always lead to something great. Don't forget that you can watch us live on these platforms: Apple, Roku, Facebook and Android devices. You can also watch us live on OGTV website, www.ogtv.com.ng/live, or send us an email, info@ogtv.com.ng. And now the news. President Bola Tinubu felicitated with the Muslims on celebrating the 2024 Eid al-Kabir, saying it denotes sacrifice, faith and obedience to the will of the Almighty God. Tinubu urged the Muslim faithful to reflect on the essence of the occasion while he prayed that Allah accept their supplications and acts of obedience. This was contained in a statement by the President's Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Ajiri Ngelale. He also said the sacrifices and great expectations of citizens will not come to naught. The President congratulates the Muslim faithful and prays that Allah accept their supplications and acts of obedience. The President emphasizes that sacrifice and duty are essential ingredients to nation building, noting that it takes collective purpose, will and action to bring about great change. Tinubu also urged Muslims to pray for peace in the country while celebrating with their families. Ogun State Governor Prince Abeokuta has called on Muslim Ummah in Nigeria to use the occasion of the Eid al-Kabir celebration to reflect on the teachings of Prophet Ibrahim and strive to emulate his unwavering faith, obedience and dedication to serve the greater good. In his goodwill message to all the Muslims across the world, and Ogun State in particular, Governor Abeokuta emphasized the importance of submitting to the Almighty God and prioritizing spiritual well-being over worldly desires. He highlighted the significance of selflessness, compassion, and willingness to make sacrifices for the sake of faith and the betterment of the humanity. The governor added that Salah present an opportunity for Muslims to gather with their families, strengthening their bonds and sharing the blessings of the festive period. The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Abeokuta, has directed commissioners of police in all the states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory, along with the Supervisory Assistant Inspectors General of Police, to strategically set up the security framework in their areas of responsibility ahead of the Eid al-Kabir celebrations. The IG also maintained that zonal AIGs and state command CPS to deploy human and operational assets to conduct confidence building and crime prevention patrols on major highways in presidential and industrial areas. The first spokesperson, Muyiwa Adejobi, disclosed this in a statement on Saturday. Adejobi added that police personnel will be deployed at a vulnerable point, places of worship, other public recreational places, and around all critical national infrastructures. He noted that personnel deployed are to perform the duties with discipline, professionalism, decorum, and alertness. A day to the Eid al-Kabir festival, major market in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, are bustling with commercial activities as Muslim faithfuls are visiting in droves to purchase rams and other livestock. Balaji Sampson, who visited the markets, observed that buyers were concerned about the hike in the prices of pepper and rams compared to what it used to be. Her reports.
As Muslim faithful prepare for the Eid al-Kabir celebration, prices of rams and basic food commodities in various markets across Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, have gone up, leading to groaning among Nigerians.
I came to come and buy meat and some little something. Everything is double. In fact, just thank God that we are alive.
The reason why I make everything cost now is the weather that change and rain no fall away. And even from north side where they bring this thing, there's a scarcity of fuel. Fuel is too cost. And then our marketers safe, they increase price. If they need the market, they increase price at once.
Ojú gara lọ, ó ti pọ̀ jù, ẹ wo, owó rẹ̀, ẹ wá ta 5,000 naira, 5,000 naira, kí ló dé òun ni? Tomatoes 1,000, ó ti pọ̀ jù.
Traditionally, rams are sacrificed during the Abeokuta festival, but the surveys reveals that inflated prices made it difficult for people to afford it. A ram dealer at the market explains that apart from high transportation costs due to cost of petrol, dealers incur expenses on the animal feeds and veterinary care, among others.
Price of the market now, like the plastic of rice now is 2,400, and the base now, the one they call now, that one is 3,200, and the olonyi now is 3,500, which is quite expensive. So it's make a lot of people not buying it because it's quite expensive, and the market is not moving well like before because of the situation of the country.
They call on the government to bring out measures to avoid traders unnecessarily doubling the prices of foodstuffs and livestock, thereby extorting the customers. Bolaji Sampson, OGTV News.
As pilgrims from around the world ascend Mount Arafat to mark the climax of Hajj for year 2024, Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun has congratulated all pilgrims from his state, urging them to remain steadfast in their prayers for the country. In a brief goodwill message delivered via telephone to Ogun pilgrims in Saudi Arabia, Abiodun expressed his gratitude to Allah for the successful pilgrimage thus far. The governor encouraged all the pilgrims to continue supporting the current administration through prayers, emphasizing the crucial role of prayers in enhancing the government effort and agenda for the people. In response, the consultant to Governor on Islamic Affairs, Sheikh Lawal Iskel, expressed his appreciation to Governor for prioritizing the welfare of the pilgrims, remarking that Abiodun had once again demonstrated his commitment to all Ogun citizens without bias for any religion. Away from that, the Ogun State Governor, Prince Dapo Abiodun, has directed that the minor who was badly beaten and bruised by one Miss Adeyanju Temitope be adopted and fully cared for by the state government, with plans for education already in place. This inhumane treatment was brought to the attention of the Ogun State government via a viral video on the social media recently. In a statement by the State Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Development, Motunrayo Adijat Adeleye, treatment of the victim will also be followed up with psychosocial support in partnership with the State Ministry of Health. The state government took up the case of the abused minor because it believes in the future of children and calling on everyone to always practice discretion while reporting cases involving child abuse and gender-based violence, according to the statement. It also pleads with partners and stakeholders in the media industry, especially social media influencers and users, to desist from continuous sharing of the victim's video, noting that sharing videos involve abuse of minors, violate their dignity, and can hinder their reintegration into the society. The state government, through statement, restated commitment to ensure professionalism and protection of the privacy and dignity of victims of cases of this nature. The Director General of the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention, Dr. Jide Idris, has blamed the outbreak of cholera in the country on poor sanitation, personnel and environmental hygiene, and lack of access to clean water. Idris, who was this while speaking on program on Saturday, noted that the agency is conducting a risk assessment and alerted all the states on the outbreak. Cholera is a food and waterborne disease caused by the ingestion of the organism Vibrio cholerae in contaminated water and food. NCDC had warned the public of the increasing trend of cholera cases across the country as the rainy season intensifies. Meanwhile, the Ogun State Ministry of Health has issued a warning to members of the public against outbreak of cholera in the country. This became imperative, especially during this festive period of Eid al-Kabir. In a statement by the State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Tomi Koka, residents are advised to watch what they eat and drink, maintain personal, environmental, and food hygiene during this period. The statement further advises that residents should step up regular hand washing, avoid open defecation, and indiscriminate disposal of waste. Having been alerted of cholera outbreak in neighboring state, the State Ministry of Health deems it fit to set up surveillance and awareness creation to prevent spread of communities in the state. Cholera is a serious bacterial infection that can cause severe diarrhea and dehydration. If it left untreated, can be fatal. In a related development, with the recent cholera outbreak in 30 states of the Federation, including neighboring Lagos, and considering the Eid al-Kabir festives, the Ogun State government has announced certain precautionary measures to residents to prevent any possible outbreak in the state. Special advisor to Governor Dapo Abeokuta on media and strategy, Kayode Akimade, made this known in a statement. He explained that the governor is seriously concerned about the development and the need to protect people in the state, considering the proximity of Ogun to Lagos and the degree of interactions between the two states. According to the statement, the precautionary measures are that all houses must have toilet, and those without a toilet should identify a room to be converted to a toilet. Residents are given 3 to 6 months of grace for compliance. All petrol stations must also have a functional public toilet with running water as part of their corporate social responsibilities. Also, all garages and parks must have functional toilets with running water as well as market. Mechanic villages in the state have also been mandated to have functional toilets with running water. All schools, public and private, should also have public toilets with running water. In addition to those measures, residents of the state are advised to take the following measures as a way of galvanizing themselves against the disease. Towards encouraging youth participation in agriculture and food production, the set of participations in Enterprise for Youth in Agriculture of Soilless Farm, sponsored by the Ogun State government, have been presented with startup grant and 2 hectares of land each at the end of their programs. Performing the formal presentation of the check, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry, Samuel Adeogun, during the short graduation held at Soilless Farm Lab in Awowo, said this will help complement the efforts of aging farmers with the young ones in the state. Matthew Showme completes the report.
For 3 months, over 1,000 youths from different parts of the country have gone through trainings in the business of farming, how to become an entrepreneur in agriculture, the best and modern method of farming, as well as the deployment of technology to aid agricultural practice to boost food production under the Enterprise for Youth in Agriculture program in Soilless Farm Lab, Awowo. 25 of the participants from Ogun State were sponsored by the Ogun State government through the Ministry of Agriculture, and the graduation of the cohorts presented a unique opportunity for the Ogun State government to demonstrate his commitment to provide the needed support for the youth with the presentation of the startup grants and lands for the participants. Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture, Samuel Adeogun, says the current administration in Ogun State will continue to support every initiative geared towards encouraging youth participation in agriculture.
We have supported the first batch of the state indigenous that has indicated interest to be part of this program. And part of the things the state government has done is to have approved land for them at their own farm estate, for them to practice what they've learned here. My message to them is clear. Go and implement, go and make use of all that you've learned. And let's begin to see the impact on the food security.
The coordinator of the program, Samson Ugbole, says the best way of addressing the challenge of food production the nation is facing is by encouraging more youth participation in agriculture.
These are young people that can take over the baton of mantle from the elderly ones and say, now we want to do agriculture. But they are coming in with the power of technology. What we do with energy, one man can do with technology and justice bring it. This is the difference they want.
Some of the participants, sponsored by the Ogun State government, promised to reciprocate the gesture of the government.
I believe I start something with the help of the government and to be able to give back to the society.
I like the opportunity. It shows that the government is concerned about empowerment of youth.
The other participants were delighted by the experience and knowledge acquired during the training, which will aid their effective participation in agriculture. Matthew Shoumi, OGTV News.
12 law students from private and public universities in Ogun State have been engaged in resourceful rounds of training sessions to bolster their capacities on different cases and strategic ways of winning. The capacity building session was held at the Dr. Olusegun Law Resource Center, Faculty of Law, Olabisi Onabanjo University, Agoiwoye, Ogun State. Our reporter, Nkem Ago, has more details in our report.
In the world of law profession, cases are won based on superior and convincing facts before the body of benchers. For members of the bar, every opportunity that comes their way must be maximized under any jurisprudence to inch their names in gold. In an attempt to sharpen skills of prospective lawyers, a competition for undergraduate law students from the nation's 6 geographical zones-based institutions of higher learning came under one roof to engage in a competition. Given a case to handle, copyright and patent infringement, the students were at their best as the defense and the prosecution counsels tabled their positions in a bid to outshine one another.
And you go by the definition of copyright infringement under Section 36 of the Copyright Act, it is without any doubt that the conduct of the defendant amounts to copyright infringement against the claimant.
What constitutes infringement of copyright is unequivocally stated in Section 6, Section 1 of the Patents and Designs Act. And the provision provides that where a patent is granted in respect of the process, the grant precludes others from applying that particular process.
Dean, Faculty of Law, Olabisi Onabanjo University, Dr. Gbade Akirimade, applauded the sponsor while also encouraging participants never to let their guards down by keeping the flag flying. Sponsors of the maiden national moot court competition, Dr. Olusegun Ashekun, and facilitators expressed their utmost joy seeing the law students performing greatly.
Going to be annual. So those who are not able to come this year, I am certain that they will be able to come in the previous, in the upcoming edition.
It's a way of exposing the students to the practical aspect of the legal profession.
I was very impressed with everybody. I mean, competitions like this are wonderful, especially when you're trying to, train and prepare to be an attorney.
Well, to be honest, I was really impressed, not only because of the confidence that they were projecting. It was, we see this almost every day.
Participants from different schools shared their experiences.
It went really well, and it was also a moment to learn, to unlearn what you have learned wrongly, and also to relearn properly.
Competition is of great standard. It is indeed the standard we are looking for.
It has helped me generally to build on my advocacy skills, how I talk to people, and in fact how the law practice is. It is different from the classroom system.
There was presentation of awards to winners in different categories as law students of Lagos State University emerged overall winner in the moot court competition. Nkem Agu, OGTV News.
And still on education, about 560 persons have been appointed as chairmen and members of governing councils of federal government-owned tertiary institutions. According to a statement on Friday, the Permanent Secretary, General Services Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Nnamdi Mbairi, President Bola Tinubu approved the reconstituted governing councils at boards of federal universities, polytechnics and colleges of education. Mbairi noted that the approval was given for the effective management of Nigerian tertiary institutions across the country. Alethea University marked a significant milestone in its academic journey with its first matriculation ceremony. The event held at the university's campus in Agoiwoye, Ogun State, marked the formal induction of 33 students into the university for the 2023-2024 academic session. Aderonke Oladele completes the report.
Alethea University, the latest addition to Nigeria's academic landscape, commenced its journey with a grand matriculation ceremony held at its campus in Agoiwoye. The event marked a significant milestone as the university welcomed its first cohort of students for the academic session 2023-2024. Keynote address delivered by Professor Oluwatoyin Ogundipe, former Vice-Chancellor of the University of Lagos, centered on paradigm shift in university education, the Alethea University perspectives, underscoring the evolving role of educational institutions to shaping future leaders and scholars.
These students that you are seeing, don't treat them badly, don't treat them shabbily. See them as the future of this country. Make sure that there's impartation, which is very key in life. Any lecturer that does not have impartation on their students, that person is not fit to be called a lecturer.
Founder, Alethea University, Major General Sansadin Awosonya retired, and Vice-Chancellor Professor Amos Onosonya articulates the institution's vision of creating a conducive environment for learning, research, and innovation.
At Alethea University, we believe in technology, we believe in innovation, we believe in critical thinking, we believe in inquisitiveness and research as game changers.
It is my hope that at the end of your 4 or 5 years in this our university, you will make up a successful triumph in your exit at the end of your specified year, and you will be able to be a proud person to your parents and guardians.
The matriculation ceremony culminates in the administration of the matriculation hall to the 33 newly enrolled students for the academic session. For the matriculating students and their parents, the ceremony serves as a reminder of the responsibilities and opportunities that await them as they begin their educational journey at the university.
Matriculation has been really fun and educative, and I look forward to the innovative projects and friendship I'll build in this school.
At first I came to check, and I saw the environment. It was fantastic. I feel satisfied, and I'm happy my choice is the best choice.
With 17 undergraduate programs and a focus on transformative learning experiences, Alethea University aims to carve a path of academic distinction, promising to shape a new era in higher education in Nigeria and beyond. Adirunke Oladele, OGTV News.
From education, the 10 Nigerian teenage girls allegedly trafficked to Ghana for prostitution have returned to Nigeria. The Nigerians in Diaspora Commission has disclosed. The chairman of the commission, Abike Dabiri, who made the disclosure in a post on her X handle, said the girls who were rescued in Ghana arrived in Lagos at about 9:55 in the evening on Friday. According to her, the girls, who are mainly from Imo State, were accompanied by representatives of Imo State government. The NIDCAM chairman added that the girls were handed over to the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons in their respective state for rehabilitation and counseling. She stated that the trafficker has been arrested and charged to court in Ghana. The federal government, through the Ministry of Solid Minerals Development, has vowed to revoke the titles of owners of licensed land unit explored by illegal miners. The ministry gave the hint in its first reaction to another mine collapse in Niger State, which claimed 3 lives. The incident, which occurred on Thursday around 10 in the morning, happened 2 weeks after the mine in Shiroro, Niger State, collapsed and swallowed over 50 miners. In a statement signed by the Minister's Special Assistant on Media, Segun Tomori, on Saturday, the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dele Alake, said preliminary investigations showed that the collapsed mine was an area under exploration, license 43113 of Jurassic Mines Limited in Adono Village, Paikoro local government area, Niger State. Dignitaries, notable functionaries across Ogun State, royal fathers and chieftains have showered encomiums on the late Agura of Bagura, Obababajide Saburi Bakre, describing his lifetime as an impactful one, which has imprinted notable legacies in sons over time. The encomiums were showered during the one-year remembrance ceremony of the monarch. Margaret Okunlola reports that Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun was a special guest at the remembrance ceremony. Her report.
After 365 days that the late monarch, Agura of Bagura, Oba Saburi Babajide Bakre, joined his ancestors, family, loved ones, royal fathers, notable dignitaries and state functionaries, including the Deputy Governor of Ogun State, Engineer Noimot Salako Oyedele, converged on the premises of the late monarch for a special prayer session and remembrance ceremony in honor of the deceased. The prayer session was held in both the Christian and Islamic ways. Family members and loved ones said he has been missed in the last 1 year.
Was a monarch who contributed immensely towards the development of Bagura land in general and in particular, and the whole of Egba land and Ogun State.
The man lived an exemplary life, a well-fulfilled life, a memory of a good man. He has contributed a lot.
What he did in Bagura Kingdom in 3.5 years, we can as well say that there are feats that cannot be achieved in 40 years.
Humility, responsibility, probity, accountability and responsibility, and then to be dutiful.
And Nashiva, within a short time of his reign, he impacted on so many people.
He loves unity, and that is what he's preaching.
Yeah, I feel really good. Everyone's talking good about my dad. It makes me feel happy, and it makes me look up to him more, even as he's no more.
On behalf of royal fathers present, Olowu of Owu, Oba Saka Matemilola lots the giant strides of the late monarch, who he described as a friend indeed.
One thing that stands out for me remarkably is the unity that he encouraged. That is for me a major one that we must continue to remember him for. And we're working very hard to sustain that legacy.
Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun, who was represented by his deputy, Engineer Noimot Salako Oyedele, delivers a condolence message to the family and relatives of the monarch.
He brought a lot of prestige to his store. I had started to create impactful legacies in Bagura land in his time. Our prayer is that Almighty Allah will uphold the family.
Late monarch Oba Babajide Bakre, a retired customs officer who was crowned on 21st of May 2019, joined his ancestors on Wednesday 14th of June 2023. Margaret Okunlola, OGTV News.
And on the foreign scene, U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken arrived in Egypt as he attempts to build a regional support for a draft Gaza peace deal recently unveiled by President Joe Biden. Also, Malawi's Vice President Salus Chilima was among 10 people killed when a small military plane crashed in mountainous region in the north of the country. Details of these and more on Foreign News Recap of this week. Do enjoy it.